Both teams in today's game have a variety of ways of getting it done on offense. Both are top 10 in total yards. It's the Chiefs going up against the Steelers. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. A shotgun snap for Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So here's Dustin Colquitt now to punt this away for the Chiefs. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play the best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Green's got it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
On second down, it's Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did. And they
looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the deep.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They'll go again with Bell. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. Now Ben on 3rd and long. This is Bell on the dump off. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
On second down, here's Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Throwing is Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to go for it. It's Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Here's Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell, sell, sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that me.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelce with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. We put our attention now on the Chiefs' defense. And an important stop in a tight game there last time.
Always important to stop them. We know that. But as you noted, in a tight game, so much more critical to get it done, and that's exactly what they did.
And they'll be trying to do that once more here. We'll see who wins the battle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They get him for sack number 9 now on the year. On third down, Roethlisberger. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Justin Houston in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Prater on to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Chiefs defense, they get set and ready to do battle again. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. They said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. To throw is Smith. A dump off for Charles. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Smith now on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley.
Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep. Hey, I gotta go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Smith looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Back to the air, Smith on second down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Prater on to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, it's Bell. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll come out in the pistol. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, here to Coates. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back complete. He can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it'll give the Steelers a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be third and goal. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Will put this one through, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And out come the Chiefs now. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelce with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here we go. Here we go.
Brown, the lone receiver, left.
Kill.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And this one caught by Coates. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now Roethlisberger, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taken right around the 44. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Back to throw, Smith. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Macklin. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Hard throw, incomplete.
Holding, defense.
Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. Charles the low setback. And they'll give it to him here. And he lost the football. Charles loses it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Smith now to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Come on. Double. Shit.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's go, T, let's go.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Throwing now, Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took